I welcome everyone to our City Council meeting for Monday, October 25th. If I could have roll call to establish quorum, Madam Clerk.
Terry McClung.
I'm here.
Harry Meyer.
Present.
Melissa Green. Here. Bill Ott.
Here.
Autumn Slane.
Here.
Okay. We have 5.
All right. If we can stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay.
All right, get a motion to, we got a public hearing first, to vacate portions of Owl Street in the Riley and Armstrong survey. So we will convene the public hearing. Is there anybody here who'd like to speak for that? Would you come up to the microphone and state your name and address, please, sir?
My name's Roger Walker. I own 4 Wheeler Street here in Eureka Springs. A portion of my property lies within Owl Street, which is a portion of it is being vacated. I've yet to see a clear drawing, whatever, of what's being asked to be vacated. The only map or description, plat, whatever I've been given is very unclear. It doesn't make any sense to me. What would you do in my place? I'm simply looking for clarification. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else here for the public hearing? All right, not hearing anyone, I declare the public hearing to be closed. We will continue on with our approval of the agenda. If I can get a motion to approve.
Mayor, I move to approve the agenda with the addition of the...
Just a moment, we need a second.
Okay.
Get second. All right, okay. Got an addendum?
Yes, sir. The acceptance of the resignation of our alderman. He's asked to vacate her seat
All right.
due to health reasons.
Okay.
A declaration of vacancy.
Yes, that too.
All right, anybody else?
We need a second?
No. All right, all those in favor of the agenda as amended, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That's so moved. Get a motion to approve the minutes for October the 11th.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. McClung made the motion, Mr. Myers seconded. Any additions, corrections? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. Couple of vacancies in our commissions. We have a vacancy on the planning commissions. Actually, we have 2 vacancies on planning commission. No, just one, I'm sorry.
We have 2.
We do have 2, okay. Going back, we do have 2 vacancies on the planning commission. Also, a third, or a vacancy on the CAPC, vacancy on the hospital, 2 vacancy on the parks. So if anybody's out there interested in serving on one of those commissions, please come in and pick up an application and fill it out and submit it. In your packet, we also have your CAPC third quarter written report, along with the third quarter written report for the parks and the cemetery, for your information and perusal. That brings us to our public comments. Please limit your time to 3 minutes. State your name and address.
Hi guys, David Avanzino, 216 West Van Buren. I wanted to speak about the change in music ordinances that are above you guys and seem to have been around for quite some time. Number one, they're extremely confusing. The language that is between a city-approved music festival and a simple sound amplified permit seems to cross the line in various ways throughout this proposal. The amendments proposed make it an already misunderstood article even more confusing. So for me as a business owner here in town, is this for a city-approved music festival, or does it apply to a simple amplified noise permit? As is with edits, it applies to all amplified noise, and one suggestion is to leave and create a new section for festivals simply called Approved Music Festivals. I was noticing on the ordinance today, under 71604 restrictions, it says commercially zoned areas throughout the year, but again, does this only pertain to a city-approved music festival, or does it pertain to amplified noise permit? And then on the second page, when you go back to residentially zoned areas, those zoned residential or quiet commercial, it states 60 decibels instead of 65. So not quite sure which one it's supposed to be. For instance, at the Gravel Bar in Wanderoo Lodge, we have purchased a police-grade decibel meter. We use it at every live music event or live music event that we have at our establishment. We take 3 different readings, one from the street, which as you all know is very difficult to get with traffic on West Van Buren. We take one from the middle of our property, our second hotel building, in front of our guests' rooms, and we take one in the ditch behind us, which shares a property line with a bed and breakfast there. Never, since we have owned this property, have our decibel readings gone above 62 in that gully, which is a property line for the complainant's address. That's all I have to say.
All right, I guess that concludes our public comments. We will continue on to new business. Item number 1 is ordinance to vacate portions of Owl Street.
Make a motion to discuss.
Second.
All right. Motion been made and second to discuss. Comments?
Mr. McClung, you say you visited that spot?
I've been over there and I met with Roger and I thought I had it explained to him exactly what was going on, and maybe since then it's become less clear to him, but it's all okay. It's not, does not adversely affect his property in any way. Owl Street back behind him is already closed, and this just cleans all that up, but I'm glad it's being done.
Okay.
So, in fact, Mr. Mayor, if I may,
Yes, sir.
I propose, I'd like to make a motion that we give this ordinance a number and read it for its first reading.
I second that.
All right, Mr. McClung made a motion to assign this a number, read it for its first reading. Mr. Myers seconded. Any further discussion? All right, hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, so moved.
I saw an aye, I didn't hear it.
I did.
And it from Autumn. Ordinance, the ordinance number will be 2314, an ordinance vacating a portion of Owl Street in Riley and Armstrong. Whereas the City Council of Eureka Springs has reviewed the petition of the adjoining landowners to vacate the area defined by the following legal descriptions. The Shelton property, a part of Owl Street and a part of South Nebo Street, the Riley and Armstrong survey of the City of Eureka Springs, Arkansas, and being more particularly described as follows: commencing at the northeast corner of Lot 19, Block 162 of said survey, then south 39 degrees west, 20 feet to the point of beginning, then south 51 degrees east, 20 feet, then south 39 degrees west, 20 feet, then north 51 degrees west, 10 feet, then south 39 degrees west, 90 feet to the center line of South Nebo Street. Then north 51 degrees west, 10 feet, then north 39 degrees east, 110 feet to the point of beginning, containing approximately let's see, that'd be
0.03.
0.03 of an acre. Yes, 0.03 acres, more or less. The Lockhart property, a part of Owl Street and a part of South Nebo Street of the Riley and Armstrong survey of the city of Eureka Springs, Arkansas, and being more particularly described as follows. Commencing at the northeast corner of lot 19, block 162 of said survey, then south 39 degrees west, 20 feet, then south 51 degrees east, 20 feet, then south 39 degrees west, 20 feet, to the point of beginning, then south 39 degrees west, 90 feet, to the center line of South Nebo Street, thence north 51 degrees west, 10 feet, thence north 39 degrees east, 90 feet, then south 51 degrees east, 10 feet, to the point of beginning, containing approximately 0.02 acres, more or less. And whereas Section 1454-1042 of the Arkansas Code Annotated allows the City Council to vacate certain streets, now therefore be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Eureka Springs, Arkansas, that Section 1, the section described above is hereby vacated and title is hereby vested in fee simple to the adjoining landowners. Section 2, all ordinances and parts in conflict with this ordinance are hereby repealed to the extent of such conflict. Section 3, that in the event that any section, paragraph, subdivision, clause, phrase, or other provision or portion of this ordinance shall be adjudged invalid or unconstitutional, the same shall not affect the validity of this ordinance, code section, or chapter as a whole, or any part or provision other than the part so decided to be invalid or unconstitutional, and the remaining provisions of this ordinance, code section, or chapter shall remain in effect.
I get a motion to approve ordinance 2314.
Motion to approve ordinance number, what was the number on it again?
2314.
2314 on its first reading.
I second that.
All right, Mr. McClung made the motion, Mr. Meyer seconded to approve this on the first reading. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. All right, that brings us up to...
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, sir.
I'd like to go ahead and suspend the rules and request that we read ordinance number 2314 for its second reading by title only.
Okay, I'll second that.
All right, Mr. McClung made the motion to read this on 2314 by title only, and Mr. Meyer seconded. Discussion? All right, hearing none.
Mr. McClung?
Yes?
Mr. Meyer?
Yes.
Ms. Green?
Yes.
Mr. Ott?
Aye.
Ms. Lane? Hello.
Hello.
Is that a yes?
Oh, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. You can hold your thumb up, that'd be fine.
Sorry.
All right,
The internet's bad.
Yeah, down, up.
Ordinance number 2314, an ordinance vacating a portion of Owl Street in Riley and Armstrong.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that we approve ordinance number 2314 on the second reading.
I'll second.
all right, Mr. McClung made the motion, Mr. Meyer seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, so moved. I saw her move her mouth.
Okay, works for me.
All right. Okay, that's, we'll go ahead and move on to our second order of business, renewal of the franchise for Joe Gunnell's Tram Tour.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I would move to approve this group tour franchise application.
We need a motion to discuss first, Bill, and then we can, sorry.
The motion discussed.
Yes, I make a motion to discuss.
I'll second.
All right.
Gotta have-
Now then, any discussion? All right,
Same as
hearing
last
none.
year, isn't it?
All right, Mr. Ott, do you have a motion?
Thank you. I'd like to move that we accept the group tour franchise application. of Mr. Joe Gunnell's tours.
I'll second that.
All right. Any discussion, questions, comments?
Can he drive faster?
And just for the public, this is the same application that Mr. Gunnels has submitted for the last several years, numerous years, without any complaints. So
It is a good thing, I'm just teasing.
we've been around here for quite a while, so.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Seems quite popular.
It is, it's a good thing.
it's positive. You've done a good job.
I just hate
So we
getting
gotta-
behind him.
We got a motion and a second to approve Mr. Gunnell's group tour franchise application. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. All right, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Gunnell. Appreciate you coming down. All right, get a motion to discuss the acceptance of the 2019 audit.
I'll make a motion that we accept the 2019 audit.
For discussion, bring it
For
up for
discussion
discussion. All right, get a second.
Second.
It's somewhere back within this last year, I don't remember when we received this audit. We discussed it, I remember talking about it, but we never did get a motion made to approve it. And so we have to accept it. We don't have to approve it, we just have to accept it for the auditors. And somehow we didn't do that.
That's right, we didn't, did we?
We just talked about it. So that's what this item is on here for. So if I can get
I make a motion, we accept the 2019 audit.
Second.
All right, thank you. Got a motion and a second, motion by Mr. Meyer and second by Mr. Ott to accept the 2019 audit. Any further discussion? All right, hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, so moved. All right, this next item is I can get a motion to approve, or motion to discuss the resolution to amend the 2020 budget.
Motion to discuss.
Second.
This is a motion basically approving our amended 2020 2020 budget that we discussed, I don't know, maybe in the last 2 meetings ago or something. So
Make a motion, we assign a number to this resolution for passage.
Second.
all right, do we have any discussion? All right, hearing none, we do this by vote.
We could go ahead and, since it's a resolution, do a,
Okay. Vote.
Ms. Green,
Yes.
Mr. Meyer,
Yes.
Mr. Ott,
Aye.
Mr. McClung,
Yes.
Ms. Lane,
Yes.
5-0. The thumb signal's working well. The resolution number will be 807, a resolution amending the 2020 adopted budgets for the city of Eureka Springs, Arkansas for the year 2020, appropriating money for each and every item of expenditure therein and for other purposes. Whereas the City Council of the City of Eureka Springs, Arkansas has determined that it is in the best interest of the city to amend the adopted budgets of the city, and whereas certain anticipated revenues and expenditures did not occur as previously budgeted, now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Eureka Springs, Arkansas, that Section 1, this resolution shall be known as the Cleanup Amended Budget Resolution for the City of Eureka Springs, Arkansas for the year 2020, and the attached 2020 budget documents present the actual revenues, expenditures, and appropriation adjustments for the period. Section 2, that the amounts for each expenditure classification in the amended budget are hereby approved by the City Council of the City of Eureka Springs, Arkansas. They are hereby authorized and appropriated for the purposes set forth for the calendar year ending December 31, 2020. Revenues for 2020. In the general fund, there was an appropriation of $4,200,515, and then a decrease of $296,931. So the actual balance was $3,903,584. In the street fund, the original appropriation was for $1,087,900. There was a decrease of $459,831, and so an expenditure of $628,069. For lot B, the original figure was $343,549, but there was a decrease of $17,122, and so expended was $326,427. For the capital fund, originally the figure was $267,705. There was a decrease of $261,842, and so an expenditure of $5,863. In debt service, the opening figure was $1,408,800, and there was an increase of $1,857,037, and therefore an expenditure of $3,265,837. For court automation, the opening figure was $16,000, but there was a decrease of $6,760, and so an expenditure of $9,240. In the fireman's pension, the original figure was $111,600, and an increase of $16,482, and so an expenditure of $128,082. Water and sewer, the original figure $2,162,200, a decrease of $475,506, and so an expenditure of $1,686,694. In the transit fund, the opening figure was $1,643,241, but there was a decrease of $453,506, and so an expenditure of $1,189,735. Looks like the overall figure was a decrease of $97,979 from the original figure. The appropriations for 2020 originally appropriated, $4,181,000 for the general fund, $4,181,770, a decrease of $431,141, leaving a balance of $3,750,629. In the street fund, the original appropriation was for $1,084,719. There's a decrease of $401,315, and a balance of $683,404. Lot fee, the opening appropriation was $266,159. There was an increase of $59,001, and a balance then of $325,160. In the capital fund, the opening figure was $267,705. There was a decrease of $197,531, and that left a balance of appropriation at $70,174. Debt service, the opening figure was $1,301,000. There was an increase of $1,828,859, and a balance expended of $3,129,859. For court automation, the opening figure was $16,000, but there was an increase of $3,160, and therefore an expenditure of $19,160. Fireman's pension, the opening figure was $110,800. It went down by $3,610, and the balance expended was $107,190. Water and sewer fund, beginning figure was $2,079,837. There was a decrease of $667,746, and an expenditure then of $1,412,091. Last but not least, transit, the opening figure, $1,526,466, with a decrease of $181,507, and therefore an expenditure of $1,344,959. The overall budget was increased by $8,170.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. That brings us up to item number 5, get a motion to discuss the ordinance for approved music festivals.
Ordinance to discuss music festivals.
Okay. I think, actually, in what this is, it is got the definition of the official music festivals. The ordinance title, though, is the regarding sound generation in commercial code
We need a second.
zones in it. Do we have a second? I'm sorry.
Second.
All right, Mr. McClung seconded. So, any discussion on this?
I have a
think it-
question.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, go ahead.
Whenever it says section 1, the definitions, code section 7.06.01, should that be 16? Because I can't find .06. Am I looking in the wrong area, or is that just a typo?
Oh, I'll definitely go back and check. Yeah, in the first section in the beginning of that code section, there is a definition portion. Thanks, I will definitely go back and check that.
Yeah, I think it's 16.
Thanks for
Yeah, I
that.
think it should be 16.
Thanks for that observation.
Oh, no problem. I do have another question, though. Does this apply to private property? So down where it says, oh my goodness. Okay. Means an organized event held partially on public property. So does that mean that this does not apply to private property?
Can we read it first so then the questions can be asked, because some of the,
Yeah, let's go ahead and read this first,
Okay.
if that's okay, and then we'll come back to your
Okay.
question. Okay?
Yes.
All right.
I'll move that we assign the ordinance a number and read it into passage.
not into passage,
Into-
into the first reading,
Oh,
please.
first
Yeah.
reading, whatever.
Okay, get a second?
Sorry.
Second.
Who was that, Mr. McClung or Mr.?
Mr. Ott?
Mr. Ott.
Mr. Ott? Okay, sorry. Any further discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, so moved.
Yes, I oppose. No,
Oh, you voted no? I'm sorry.
no.
She
I
voted
mean,
no.
I had a ton of questions. I mean, I don't, is it private property?
For what?
or is this
Wait,
private
we're going to,
property
this is just to assign a number and to
Public
read it.
property only.
This is to assign a number and to read. So we'll get,
It can be amended at any time.
yeah. So it's not voting on the ordinance completely. I mean, there's 3 times we got to read this ordinance. So this is just assigning a number and putting out for reading. And when we get this done, we'll come back for questions.
Righto?
All right, so I'm sorry, the vote was 4-1.
Correct.
Yeah.
The ordinance number will be 2315, an ordinance amending Title 7 of the Eureka Springs, Arkansas Municipal Code regarding sound generation in commercial zones. Whereas the City Council of the City of Eureka Springs, Arkansas has made a comprehensive study and review of Title 7 of the Municipal Code, and whereas, in the opinion of the City Council, certain changes should be made to the code. Now therefore, be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Eureka Springs, Arkansas, that definitions, code section definitions, shall be amended to add officially approved music festivals means an organized event held partially on public property and typically lasting several days, featuring performances by various musicians, singers, and groups with a completed permit, including signatures of city department directors and the mayor. Section 2, Code Section 7.16.04 shall be amended to read as follows. 7.16.04, restrictions. In commercially zoned areas throughout the year, A, no person shall operate or cause to be operated any loudspeaker, sound amplifier, or similar device from which sound emanates out of doors in a commercially zoned area in such a manner that the sound projected beyond the perimeter of the property exceeds 65 decibels as measured by a sound level meter. B, no person shall operate or cause to be operated any loudspeaker, sound amplifier, or similar device from which sound emanates indoors in a commercially zoned area in such a manner that the sound projected beyond the perimeter of the property exceeds 65 decibels as measured by a sound level meter. In commercially zoned areas for approved music festivals, A, no person shall operate or allow to be operated any loudspeaker, sound amplifier, or similar device from which sound emanates out of doors in a commercially zoned area at a level above 65 decibels, except those businesses having a restaurant license, outdoor seating, and an amplified sound permit as authorized by Section 7.16.07 for an officially approved music festival. Amplified sound emanating from permitted businesses will not exceed 85 decibels for officially approved music festivals as measured by a sound meter. B, no person shall operate or allow to be operated any loudspeaker, sound amplifier, or similar device from which sound emanates indoors in a commercially zoned area at a level above 65 decibels, except those businesses having a restaurant license, outdoor seating, and an amplified sound permit as authorized by 7.16.07 for an officially approved music festival. Amplified sound emanating from permitted businesses will not exceed 85 decibels for officially approved music festivals as measured by an SLM. In residential zoned areas, under no circumstances shall amplified sound exceed 60 decibels, and I will go back and check to see if it's supposed to be 65, as measured by a sound level meter in a residential area. Businesses having a restaurant license and outdoor seating that operate in an area zoned residential or quiet commercial, C3, shall have a restriction on sound produced which shall not exceed, at this moment, 65 decibels. Section 3, Code Section 7.16.07 shall be amended to read as follows. Officially approved music festivals. The mayor or city clerk may issue special permits allowing the production of amplified sound in commercially zoned areas to be extended until 12 midnight and at a level not to exceed 85 decibels for officially approved music festivals. Section 4, Repeal Clause. All ordinances, resolutions, and parts thereof in conflict herewith are hereby repealed to the extent of such conflict.
Point of inquiry.
Okay.
Did I hear you read it in Section 3, number B, not to exceed 65, rather than 60?
Well, it does say 60, but I want to go back and double-check code because
Okay.
someone had a question about that.
Well, because it says 65 on the first page. I didn't know if that was a
Well,
reference or not.
I'd like to, it might be good to add that, C3 is a different creature because it's quiet commercial.
Okay.
The front page really applies to C1 and C2 properties that have all the requisite elements.
Okay. And my other question, Mr. Mayor, is I know that we have a sound ordinance already on the books. This would supersede that sound ordinance for recognized music festivals by the city of Eureka Springs.
I'm not sure you're saying superseding. This would be,
Well, I mean,
this would be defining and adding to the ordinance that we have. Anything, and correct me, Madam Clerk, if I'm wrong, I believe what is underlined is what's been added.
Not on this ordinance. In the draft that was received, that was the case.
I see out of doors is underlined and indoors is underlined in
Well,
my copy.
yes, just so it's easier to read.
I guess my question is for clarification, if we have a sound ordinance in place for the full year, if there's an approved music festival, this would apply.
After adoption.
Yeah.
Ms. Sloan, you had a question earlier?
Yes. I'm kind of agreeing with Bill Ott. I feel like there's a couple of things that if by adding this verbiage, it is confusing the other ordinances. And then also, it's 60 on residential areas
Thank you.
for Ann.
Thank you. So it really
I haven't
is what
pulled
it
up.
says in the, okay.
Yeah, on the 7.16.04, it's 60.
Excellent.
But I don't know, I really feel like as a community, people are upset. As businesses, I feel like this is a tricky area because we may be leaving ourselves open to discrimination and being able to pick and choose who we want to get these permits. And that's really my only concern with this going forward.
Mr. Mayor?
Mr. Myers?
My question is, it does not say where the decibel reading is being taken place. Like in residential areas, is that from the point, from a resident who's complaining about the noise? Because, somebody calls the police and says, there's noise coming from blah, blah, and it's too loud. Do the police come and go and measure in front of the band? Or do they go and measure at the person who's complaining? I think that needs to be defined.
The way this reads, it says beyond the perimeter of the property.
Okay. Well, in Part 3, where it says residential zones,
Well, in Part 1A, 716.04.1A, both A and B state sound projected beyond the perimeter of the property.
okay, but 2B, or 3A and B don't say anything about that. So perhaps we need to insert that in.
There, excuse me, there may be reference in the existing ordinance to that effect. I don't have it in front of me, so I
Yeah,
I can't say. It may, may already be in there and may not be required to
Yeah.
add.
Yeah, my question was, if it is indeed, and I think it is, I would simply reference that ordinance saying as is the case with ordinance, whatever.
This is a part of that ordinance. This becomes just attached to and a part of that ordinance. It changes things that are already there, but that's all. The ordinance is not, in itself, is not
It amends
changing.
it.
It's an amended. correct?
Yeah, it's just an
Okay.
amendment to that ordinance.
So that was my question. This is the same sound ordinance except for music festivals, they can crank it up to 85.
This is making some changes to that ordinance, but it's not, but only to those specific things and not the total ordinance.
That's what I'm saying, is the other ordinance is in place. The differences on this one would apply just for approved music festivals.
No, it's more than
Mr. Out, we'd
that.
have to go back and look and see what was like, when we were looked at this originally to have this discussed, we had what was going to be changed was going to be highlighted and what was going to be deleted. And so I don't have that document in front of me, so I can't answer your question.
Could I
Madam
help with
Clerk?
that? Basically, the answer to your question is yes, and that it is strictly, the emphasis is on approved music festivals. And to address Ms. Lane's concern, the reason this is at the table is to prevent what appears to some to be picking and choosing and discrimination. This is to clarify what is a city-approved music festivals, i.e. something that involves the use of city property specifically, but not only. And that way there is a line that property owners understand, that the police understand, and there wasn't before. It was too blurred, and so this is here specifically to address those concerns. Does it help?
Yes, ma'am. My whole thing is just, there's been so much concern and interest in this throughout the community, especially those people who not only have a place that play music, but also those people who live near a place where there's music. I'm just trying to get as simplified as possible for everyone to understand, and so just going for that maximized clarification if possible.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. McClung?
Yeah, does the Crescent fall in as commercial, or is it in?
Crescent's in a commercial zone, but I don't
Crescent
remember.
is C1, but around it is C3.
Okay.
They're like
So,
the hill
okay,
going down.
that's what I just wanted to clarify, because then it qualifies
Yes.
as, it's okay then. Like for the outdoor deal that they did last week, or it's coming up, I can't remember. So that qualifies, because they're a restaurant, they can have the outdoor music.
Right.
Okay.
At 65.
Yeah, of course, it's 65, yeah.
That old?
It's older than that.
All right. Any other comments, questions? Ms. Lane, did you have any other questions? Okay.
No, thank you.
All right, Mr. McClung?
Yeah, this is better than what was presented last time. It breaks it down better, and it's more clear to me that I can follow this. I think that and I like what it says about it's the perimeter of the property, and so I think that's good as far as the commercial goes, and that's been my concern. The residential probably is really not changing, and apparently it's not changing, and Autumn may have a better understanding of that, because I think she's looked at this closely in her book, and we've not really had any complaints that I've heard in a long time in residential with residential music itself. So I think I'm happy with this personally.
All right, anybody else?
If somehow we could, because all this is legalese basically, if we could do a summation where people could understand that when it's not a music festival, this is what the level can be at these places. In a music festival, this is what it can be after that.
It's pretty well spelled out, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think it is too.
that's pretty easy to understand.
Okay, all I'm saying is that if we could take it out and just have an information sheet above and beyond the ordinance, extracting that from that, it might be easier for people to understand rather than looking at the ordinance itself. Just a thought.
Right.
Because I know I'm pretty simple, and I would love that.
I'll make a motion that we read ordinance 2315 on its first reading by title only.
It's been read, there needs to be a
Read the
motion to
ordinance.
approve the first reading.
Okay, motion to approve the first reading.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Ms. Green made motion to approve this ordinance 2315 on first reading, and Mr. McClung seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, so moved. Yeah. All right, Mr. Mayor.
I do have one question, that it might be as an amendment for this next one. Don't we need to have this as let's see, oh, never, it says it in the title. Forget it.
Okay. All right, that brings us up to our next item is, I think Madam Clerk has third quarter 2021 financials.
Okay,
Motion to discuss?
Second.
Second?
of the 5 elements, we have 4 through the end of September 2021. We have the check register, the receipts, payroll, and in the back of what you received earlier, we have the long-term liabilities. Oh, it's in the back of what was provided for what would have been the budget meeting. So that's where you're going to find the long-term liabilities. The one element we don't have yet are the bank balances for the 30-some accounts. That's forthcoming.
Any questions?
Do we need to wait for that before we approve it?
No, we don't approve it.
There's
That's just for information only.
Okay.
So, all right, next item is for discussion. If I can get a motion to discuss the proportionate share agreement for the circuit.
Motion to discuss.
Second?
Every year, we split our district court judgeship. Well, wait a minute, all in favor, I guess, or?
Oh, there's not a
Oh,
vote.
okay, I'm sorry, I'm getting confused here now myself. Every year, we have a resolution that we need to authorize our share of the agreement to pay for the district court judgeship. A part of that is, I think the Eureka Springs share is down here is 1 share, and the rest is divided among Berryville, Green Forest, Berryville, Huntsville, Madison County, and Green Forest, and Carroll County. And so our share is $8,378 going toward his salary. So, any discussion, Mr. McClung?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that we assign this required resolution to number and read it for passage.
And I'll second that.
Okay, got a motion and a second. Motion by Mr. McClung to sign this number and read for passage. Mr. Meyer seconded. Any further discussion?
Mr. Meyer?
Yes?
Ms. Green?
Yes.
Mr. Ott?
Aye.
Mr. McClung?
Yes?
Ms. Lane?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
5-0. The resolution number will be 808, a resolution authorizing the mayor of the city of Eureka Springs, Arkansas, to execute a proportionate share agreement for the state district court judgeship base salary for 2022. Be it resolved by the City Council of the city of Eureka Springs, Arkansas. The mayor of the city of Eureka Springs, Arkansas is hereby authorized to execute a written proportionate share agreement to fund 1/2, 50%, of the base salary of the district court judgeship for fiscal year 2022. The remaining base salary of the district judge courtship shall be paid by the state. The proportionate share agreement is equally divided among the following entities: Carroll County, 2 shares; Madison County, 1 share; City of Berryville, 1 share; City of Eureka Springs, 1 share; City of Huntsville, 1 share; City of Green Forest, 1 share. Each share shall be in the amount of $8,378.57 for the fiscal year 2022 among the shareholders in this agreement.
All right, takes care of that. That brings us up to agenda setting.
Oh,
We
Oh,
have
I'm
to-
sorry, I'm skipping one of the important things.
I'd like to bring up the vacating the Laura
Motion to
Jo
discuss.
seat at the council.
I'll second that.
Okay, got a motion to discuss on there.
Yeah, motion to discuss. I spoke with Laura Jo the other day, just Friday evening, and she's pretty certain she does not want to come back. She's still nursing herself back to health, so I believe we need to declare a vacancy.
I'll second that.
All right, get a motion to declare vacancy for Laura Jo's seat, which seat is that, do you know?
they just did make a motion.
Was that a motion?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, okay. Didn't hear you. Okay, we got a motion and a second by Ms. Green. Any further discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, so moved. That brings us up to the agenda setting. Anyone? Mr. Meyer?
I guess next meeting, we can accept, we can nominate people to
Yes.
take Laura Jo's position.
Be on the agenda.
So we will also vote at that meeting, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
You could?
Ms. Green?
I'm not going to say this right, but I've had more people, not just on Cliff Street, but now it's Eureka Street with GPS and people going through the neighborhoods. Can we have some kind of on the agenda to start looking at things that weren't applicable 5 years ago? We need to upgrade because they've got people just going down their street now too. I don't know how we're going to stop GPS.
Why don't you give me a call and let's talk about it?
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Anything else?
Question on the filling the vacant seat. When will we get the applications? How far in advance will we get those before the meeting?
As soon as we get them, we'll forward them to you.
Okay.
There's no deadline. They could literally give it to us the day before.
Bring them in that night or whatever.
They can come in that evening, and,
And
Yeah.
they don't have to really give us an application. They
yeah,
just
there's
throw
no
their-
application,
they
it's
throw
a
their ad.
nomination.
Correct.
I've never heard of an application,
Okay.
but, you know,
We just need to know that they live in that ward and they're a qualified voter.
Well, and willing to serve.
Will
We
they
can't draft anyone.
that
will
part,
they have an opportunity to speak before the council?
We have allowed that before.
Okay.
All right, council comments. Mr. McClung?
I'd like an update on the band shell at Basin Park. If we're not getting any headway made quick, I want to put it on the agenda because I want to make it a high priority.
All right, let's put it on the agenda.
Okay? I requested.
Does he need two people? I'll go with him on that.
nope.
All right, anything? Mr. Meyer?
Yeah, I'll go along with that because some of the equipment in there is getting ruined and the thing might collapse. The roof's going to cave in or something, but no, I sure miss Laura Jo, but we'll find a qualified candidate, I'm sure. And Autumn, you're coming from home? Where's home nowadays?
Yeah, I am, I took a little vacation to Florida for my birthday.
Aha.
Oh, by the way, happy birthday, yeah.
Birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you, thank you.
Mr. Meyer, you have anything else?
Nope.
Well, Ms. Slane, while you're celebrating your birthday, you have any comments?
I do not. Thank you for letting me do this.
Happy birthday. We're glad to have you here. So,
Thank you.
even in via Zoom. So, Ms. Green?
Happy birthday, Autumn. I will miss Laura Jo. Happy Halloween.
Mr. Ott?
Yes, I also want to state that it's with sadness that we accept the resignation of LJ, but her health and well-being is much more important than anything else, and so I'm glad she's on the right path and to full wellness, and look forward to seeing her on the streets.
The only thing, I'd just reiterate what everyone at the council has done about Laura Jo. She has served admirable on city council and on other commissions even before the city council, and it's certainly with regret that we do have to accept her resignation. She's been a great person to have on the council, and I really enjoyed working with her and all that she had to offer. And other than that, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, so moved.